Hi everyone, welcome back to the summit. I'm so glad to have you here. These sessions are being all recorded in advance, and I can tell you right now that I am so excited to be doing this. I have met the most amazing people over the last couple of weeks, and today is no different. I have got Natasha Cole with me today, and Natasha and I have had a lovely chat before we've begun this. So I can tell you right now, stay tuned because this is going to be an amazing session. You're going to learn so much from Natasha. She has got a great backstory, and she's also learned a lot along the way. So Natasha Cole, her business is called Simply by Natasha, and she's passionate about body positive image, which is very, very important in this day and age, as we know. And she's all about, dressing with style, which is fantastic, and anti-aging. She has got her own business running all of this, and she is all about being profitable. And what I love most is that she's about honesty. And if you have a look at her account, when I came across Natasha, what I loved the most is that her account is very natural and it's very real. And we see a lot of accounts out there that look really beautiful, but once you get into it, you go, okay, there's a lot of fakeness here. And that's what I really love about Natasha, and that's why I really wanted to have her here today, because her account is very real, very honest, and very beautiful, and I think really shows off who she is as a person. So let's introduce Natasha and say hello, and let's get into some questions. Hi Natasha, how are you today?
Hi Caroline.
That's okay. I don't mind. So thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited. I'll just tell everyone as well, you have got an Instagram following of over 43,000. We spoke about it before we actually got on the recording, and you have built that up organically over time, which is fantastic. And that's really where your the realness comes from your account, is that the authentic side of you coming out and people following you for who you really are. So I love that. And you've got over 7,000 views per month, organic views. What's the word that I'm looking for? Unique views. Yes. On Pinterest. So that's fantastic. And I didn't find out until just last night, you actually do a lot of work with Glambassador as well, and they're actually coming on this summit as well. So that's really nice. We didn't know that connection until just last night. So, maybe we can talk a little bit about it from your point of view, working with Glambassador and what it's like being an influencer with them. So I think we've got a lot to cover today.
Yes, sounds like it.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about your specific niche, because I think that I can say this without I'm not trying to be rude at all. You are older than the average influencer, and that's really why I wanted you here. We do have, a lot of influencers coming on that are in that 20, 30 age range, and that seems to be where a lot of influencers sit. But I liked the fact that you are over the age of 35, which I think for an influencer makes you stand out a little bit more. So tell us a little bit about your niche and how you go being in that over 35 age range with being an influencer.
Okay, great. Actually, I'm in the over 45 range.
Okay.
And actually very proud of that. There are a few of us out there in that are consistent. Actually, I'm meeting up with a few of them from my own state tomorrow. So we're kind of a more close, tight-knit community of people on Instagram because there aren't as many of us. Yeah. But that also gives us quite an advantage because there's a market for items that are fashion and lifestyle, like I promote. And with my belief system, I really love modest, beautiful fashion and really healthy lifestyle. And so that also narrows down the niche a little bit. So with those, I don't know, my main, on my analytics, the main audience that I have is still within the 20 to 30 age range.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and I think that people are very conscious or becoming very conscious about a healthier lifestyle, about body positivity, and I think that age is really more of just a number. And so when people are maybe afraid of getting on Instagram and really posting stuff about themselves. That's the only thing holding them back.
So you're saying that most of your followers are actually between the ages of 20 and 30, or is it that?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Yes.
And do you find that you have, because when we talk about Pinterest, you do a lot on Pinterest as well.
Yeah.
But with Pinterest, we talk about how people on Pinterest spend more than people on Instagram, for example. Do you find that your followers spend at a higher price point, or you don't see a difference with that? Do you think that the products
I don't really see a difference on my analytics with that. And you know, it depends on, I don't know how accurate the dollar figures are for what their income is and what they spend between all the different
sections of
well, like Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest, that kind of thing. But I don't really see any difference. I mean, they're both, especially Instagram and Pinterest, they're both very visual, and so you're attracting them with a picture, and that gets them to click on a link, and you try to supply them with really great ideas. I mean, I tie Pinterest in with my blog along with all of the other platforms because there's different audiences for each of the different platforms.
Okay.
So I don't think you're catching the same people on Instagram that you're catching on Pinterest. And I think that the age category on Pinterest is probably a more broad age category than is on Instagram. So, and the same thing with Facebook. You know, it's kind of a thing for people to say Facebook is for like moms and dads and the older generation, and it may be the case, but it was really there first. It's one of the first ones that was really there. That's why. And the kids that are now on these other things like Snapchat and stuff like that, they were little when Facebook came out. So yeah, we were the first ones to really get on that. So and some people just are not interested in sharing. So in my age category, I guess I'm just lucky. I enjoy it. I love the people I get to interact with, and I love just the creativity that gets to go into what I do.
Yeah, so I've got a few questions to ask you about that. So I'm just going to jump back to something you mentioned before. You said that you've got the different platforms. So you've got Facebook, you've got Instagram, you've got Pinterest. You do a little bit on YouTube as well, but those are really your main. And Twitter, and you also have your own blog as well. So you mentioned for everyone that's watching, there's a video underneath this video that Natasha's kindly put together for us, which is just explaining more about influencer marketing and how to work with influencers. So that sort of goes into the technical side, that video. This interview is more on the personal side. But in that video, you do mention when people work with you, there's a different price if they were to work with you just on Instagram compared to working with you on different platforms. Can you sort of explain that in a bit more detail?
I can. So I have a price point that I provide those that want to work with me. I give them an option between a lower price if they would like me only to do a regular post on Instagram and a story with a link on Instagram. And then that makes it so they reach around 44,000, give or take. And then I give them another option to